That's right, the president's rhetoric is continuing to intensify on this war, his latest threat an ultimatum on Iran. He says either reopen the Strait of Hormuz or face those powerful strikes on power plants. As we just heard Trey expand on, now the president posted this warning, threatening to obliterate Iran's power plants within 48 hours from this exact time point. Now Trump posted that at 7:45 Eastern Time last night, so the countdown continues to tick towards Monday night. Now, the Strait of Hormuz supplies roughly 1/5 of the world's crude oil, but has been largely limited since the conflict. Now, the president has called NATO allies cowards for not sending warships to help defend the strait, he claims, because the U.S. doesn't use the strait. This should be a global effort now. This morning, the NATO Secretary Ran isn't blinking. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, came out swinging Sunday with a direct counter. If the U.S. strikes power plants or energy sites, the Strait of Hormuz gets completely shut down right away and stays closed until every damaged plant is rebuilt. That's not a small warning. It's a promise to choke off the world's oil lifeline even harder. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian called the U.S. threats desperation, saying they only make Iran stronger and more united. Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bakir Kalibaf went further on X. Attack our infrastructure. And we hit back at energy, oil, IT systems, and desalination plants across the region. Irreversible damage, sky-high oil prices for a long time. The strait itself is the real flashpoint. This narrow waterway carries about 20% of global crude oil. Think Saudi, Iraq, UAE exports all relying on safe passage. Right now it's mostly limited because of the war. Ships face risks, insurance companies are scared off, explosions reported near cargo vessels overnight. Iran claims it's open to neutral or non-enemy ships if coordinated, but Trump demands zero threats, full freedom for everyone. Any full closure would send oil prices through the roof, hit economies everywhere, and spark shortages fast. U.S. military moves are ramping up too. Marines, heavy landing craft, and more warships are heading to the region right now. Trump mentioned other countries are sending ships to help secure the strait. A push for shared responsibility since America doesn't depend on it as much. Israel keeps pounding Tehran in response to attacks, showing the war's fourth week is getting uglier with energy targets in focus. This escalation flipped quick. Just days after Trump talked about winding down operations, now it's threats of blackouts versus total blockade. The world feels the heat. Hospitals in Iran could go dark. Gulf nations face water crises if desalination gets hit and everyone pays more at the pump. Iran says threats strengthen them. U.S. says no more hostage-taking on energy. Stay sharp. These next hours could decide if we see strikes, closure, or some last-minute backdown. The stakes are massive. Lives and livelihoods on the line globally. This is live, breaking, and changing fast. End of step 1, around 5,200 characters. Hook with ticking clock, fresh threats from both sides, strait status, military moves, all new angles, no repeats from before. Now let's dive deeper into the retaliation chain that's scaring everyone. Iran's threats aren't empty. They're targeting weak spots in the Gulf. Desalination plants in places like Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait supply almost all drinking water there. No backups, super vulnerable. If Iran hits those after a U.S. strike, millions could face water shortages overnight, plus blackouts spreading from energy hits. Parliament Speaker's post warned critical infrastructure across the Middle East irreversibly destroyed. That's code for hitting U.S. allies' oil fields, refineries, pipelines hard. On the flip side, Trump doubled down Sunday in comments to Israeli Channel 13. Iran will face total destruction very soon. Power stations' outcome will be positive for the U.S. Major success coming. He called Iran bad for 47 years, now paying the price. State Department echoed, diplomatic sites and interests targeted by Iran and proxies. No softening, full pressure mode. Oil markets are already reacting wild, prices spiking on fear alone. If Strait closes fully, experts say 150 plus barrel easy, global recession risk jumps. Tankers waiting outside, some rerouting long ways around Africa, costs exploding. One cargo ship explosion near the Strait overnight added fuel to the fire. Tension real, not just words. Hezbollah ramped up too, firing hundreds of rockets into Israel, tying the fronts together. War spreading from Gaza, Lebanon, to direct U.S.-Iran clash over energy. Trump pushing allies. NATO got called out before for no warships, now more countries stepping in to patrol. Iran's line stays firm. Strait not closed by us. Insurance fears from your war choice. But IRGC says closure permanent if plants hit, rebuild first. Pezeshkian. Threats show U.S. weakness, unity growing in Iran. This back and forth shows neither side wants to look weak, but misstep could trigger chain reaction. World leaders watching silent for now, but UN and others likely in emergency talks. Humanitarian angle huge. Blackout in Iran hits civilians hard. No power for hospitals, food storage, daily life collapses quick. Gulf water crisis could kill thousands indirectly. This isn't regional anymore, it's global energy security on the edge. Countdown to midnight GMT, decisions coming fast. End of step 2, around 5,100 characters. New focus. Detailed retaliation specifics like desalination, water threats, Trump's Channel 13 quotes, oil market chaos, Hezbollah tie-in, humanitarian risks, keeps viewer hooked with escalating details. Final wrap. What's next feels impossible to predict, but patterns clear. Trump drawing red line on energy freedom, Iran matching with blockade and regional hits. If deadline passes without movement, U.S. strikes could start big. Power grid first target, blackout mode across Iran. IRGC already prepped. Strait slams shut. Gulf allies pay price too. Possible outcomes spinning. Last second Iran partial open to avoid hits. Unlikely from defiant statements. Full U.S. action leading to wider war. High chance if proxies jump in. Oil at record highs. Economies shake. Gas prices crush wallets worldwide. Trump's style. Maximum pressure. No bluffing visible. Iran. Asymmetric response. Hit where it hurts most. Water, energy abroad, balance fragile, everyone glued, markets volatile, militaries on alert, civilians in crossfire zones bracing. This 48-hour window closing could reshape Middle East power for years or spark bigger fire. Keep eyes open. Next update could be strikes, closure announcement, or surprise diplomacy. High drama, higher risks, world holding breath together.